When I was teaching regularly, I think the decision I used to make most often every single day was this: do I need to go over this one more time, or can I move on? How did I make that decision? I would make up a question on the spur of the moment. I would ask the class. 6 kids would raise their hands. I'd pick on one of them. They'd give me the correct answer, and I would say, good, and move on. Assuming the other 29 kids are now okay because they've heard one kid give me the correct answer, or that the other 29 knew it all along. So what we're saying is that actually that's a really bad basis for teachers' decision making. Hearing from 1 or 2 kids who volunteered with an answer cannot be a sensible basis for moving forward. So what we're suggesting is that at least once every 20, 30 minutes, if you're going to make sensible decisions about what to do next, you need to get a response from the whole class. And we call these Hinge questions. The idea is that we design our lessons with hinges in them. We don't design our lessons like an airport runway where the aim is to start at one end and get as quickly as you can to the other end. At some point you stop and you check to see whether the students are still with you. And if they are, you do one thing. And if they're not, you do something else. So there's a myriad ways you can actually design these questions. What we think is particularly important is this. First of all, it doesn't need to be a big piece of work. We don't want students spending more than a couple of minutes coming up with answers. It's not meant to be a distraction from the lesson. Second, when the students give you the responses, the teacher needs to be able to eyeball the whole class's responses and make a decision about what that means in 30 seconds or less. It's not meant to slow down the lesson. The important thing is you make a quick decision: do I need to go backwards or do I need to go forwards? Or do I need to get kids to talk about their answers in pairs? There's a range of things you can do. The crucial thing about a hinge point question is this: kids cannot get it right for the wrong reason. If students with the right thinking and students with the wrong thinking give you the same answer, that question is useless, because you're having no luck at all in distinguishing between the kids who get it and the kids who don't. So the crucial feature of these hinge point questions, as we call them, is that it's impossible for kids to get it right for the wrong reason. So if they're getting it right, you know they're getting it right for the right reason. And you need to design the question to support that, because you have the time to hear from every single kid their reasons for their choice. Many teachers say to me, I'd get every kid to explain their answer, but they never do, because the whole lesson just falls flat by the time you've heard from 2 or 3 kids. So the idea behind these hinge point questions is they're quick checks, and you can have answers on mini whiteboards, you can use ABCD cards, you can use finger voting, you can use electronic clickers. It doesn't really matter how you do that. The important thing is the teacher can get a quick response from every single kid in 2 minutes and can make sense of that response in 30 seconds or less and make a decision about what to do next. This way, your teaching becomes more responsive and more engaging. Every student has to generate an answer to the hinge point question, so they're engaged, and you're getting high quality information about what to do next as a teacher, and that makes your teaching more responsive to their needs.